Somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms. Bare-chested. Somebody stop that man. Oh, they got him. Oh, they got him. They're coming from the left. Oh, they got him. Bang, bang, bang in his chest. Bang, bang. The guy is drunk.
Welcome back to another night of Fantasy and Chill. Week 8 recap. Talking about Week 9 a little bit too. I am your quarterback, Ryan. Chill. What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Joined again by Britt.
What up, Playboy?
And as always, producer Matt.
What's up, Playboy?
Like the Jersey Matt. A little
You're gonna fucking copy what I say from now on.
What? I didn't copy it.
It's exactly what Britt just Britt just said.
I said sup.
Oh, okay. Is your jersey a tribute?
Yeah, R.I.P. man.
Rip.
My boy JJ.
Rip to the GOAT. Out again.
I wouldn't say the GOAT, but the Hall of
The
Famer.
greatest Houston Texan of all time.
That's not saying it much at all.
Well, he is. He's going to go down as one of the greatest defensive ends of all time.
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see? His career's almost over.
He's probably gonna retire after this.
Yeah.
I was more of a clowny guy. Mario Williams.
Shut up. If you missed it, not fantasy related at all, but J.J. Watt did go down with another season-ending injury. Tore his pectoral muscle. So that's 3 of 4 years JJ's had to hang up the cleats early. So we'll see if he can bounce back. He's pretty dedicated to all that rehab stuff, so hopefully he'll be back. Wouldn't want to
Yes.
see him go out like that.
He'll have his girl watching over him very closely.
I'm sure he will. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with our
Damn it. Oh wait.
Fantasy Studs.
fantasy studs.
It never fails.
So our first stud, Britt's favorite player in the NFL, once again coming through for Britt. Pretty much carrying Britt's team at this point.
I wouldn't say
Running
carrying,
back,
but
pretty close. Running back for the Packers, Aaron Jones had 13 carries for 67 yards, but also had 7 catches, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
should have been 3.
I thought he ended up scoring on that one that got called back anyways.
No, I think it was Jamal Williams that scored.
That was Jamal
Oh,
Williams.
yeah.
But yeah, should have been. He should have had a 50-point night.
But instead, Britt had to settle for like 39.
41. I'll take it.
I couldn't remember. Oh, Tevin Coleman at 39, our next guy. Spoiler alert. So is Aaron Jones the best receiver on the Packers right now?
Yes, and that brings me to my point. Am I a little worried that
He didn't ever start anything, so how can that?
when Devontae Adams comes back, is that going to affect Aaron Jones? And I think it might a little bit, but I just want to tell all you haters out there, especially Austin Turpin, suck my dick. 4th round pick, probably going to be a top 4 running back right now. So decided to get that out.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, these are his targets since Devontae went out. 8, 7, 4, and 8. And before that, I think the game he went out, he had 8 targets, and then before that it was like 1, 2, and 3 or 4 or something like that.
So
And I mean-
obviously Aaron Jones trusts him a lot. Not Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers trusts him a lot, even after he dropped that touchdown a couple weeks ago. It's because he knows that his other guys out there, it's not like he has any other better options. So feed Aaron Jones, throw him the ball. He's good in space. Run after catch. Cliche football words.
Still sucks at running
Like,
back.
great.
Yeah. And Aaron Jones isn't like a
agrees.
transcendent talent or anything. He's a product of their offense. I'm not an idiot. So if you have Aaron Jones, you must have Jamal Williams. Because if Aaron Jones goes down, Jamal Williams is a plug and play top 10 in that offense. He's going to be he's already is utilized, but must have Jamal Williams if you have Aaron.
Do you have Jamal Williams, Britt?
Yes, I do.
Would you ever play both of them at the same time?
I've thought about it.
half of Britt's lineup consists of Steelers running
Handcuffs.
backs
Yeah.
and Packers running backs.
Well, I made a trade this week which I'm actually pretty proud of, and I had
Who'd
an
you
extra
get?
bench spot. I traded away Tevin Coleman, who feels bad man. He had a really good day too, 4 touchdowns, and Juju, who I'm a little worried about, and Calvin Ridley for Marlon.
Juju on that beat.
There you go. Hopefully Juju goes off tonight. Holla at your boy.
Just think if you still had Coleman, how bad you would have beat Matt.
Well, we'll see what Juju does,
I'm
because
still
I
gonna
mean,
lose by like
Galladay got
30.
me 28 and Matt got me 15, so that's more than Coleman. Not
Oh,
by
I
much.
forgot you got Galladay in the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a good deal all around. Both parties were able to get something out of that deal.
Yep.
It's a rarity in our league.
Very rare. Well, yeah.
The next stud was just mentioned. One of the trade pieces in that deal. He only touched the ball 13 times, if you can believe that. Tevin Coleman, 11 carries, 105 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Also added 2 catches for 13 yards and 1 touchdown. And as a guy playing against Tevin Coleman this week, watching that game on Red Zone was just like, every time it flipped to the game, it's like, oh, here comes another Tevin Coleman touchdown. And it just got pretty ridiculous. He only touched the ball 13 times, 4 touchdowns, 40 points.
Carolina's D had been pretty solid before that game. I mean, the most points they had given up was 30, and San Francisco just bent them over and gave it to them old-fashioned style.
Yeah, San Francisco, they were gashing them, but at the beginning of the game, the Panthers turned it over a few times in a row, and that kind of killed them with field position. But even on when the 49ers had a long way to go, they still put drives together and scored. So
You know who loved that game on Carolina, though?
Cam Newton.
Cam
Scammy.
Newton. Scammy.
They already announced, though, that Allen's still starting the next game.
We'll see.
Yeah, but Coleman gets to play Cardinals next week. So if you're trying to find a spot to bench him, it ain't going to be next week. Or I guess drop him to waivers.
Oh, he's got a juicy
Inside joke.
schedule.
And that's the thing is that, I mean, he had been doing decent since he came back from injury. I mean, he had like in the teens a few times, but this came out of nowhere. Because how many points did Breida have?
Wait. Let me just tell
Matt
you, if
should
it's a
know.
Breida game, he got injured. So yes, he did get injured again. I think he had like
Did
3
he?
points. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Mostert had a decent day, right? Didn't he have a
Yeah, well,
touchdown?
they brought Mostert in when the game got out of hand.
Yeah, it was like
It's
51
Mostert.
of.
Are you sure about that?
Positive.
That's Britt's
I don't
boy.
know. Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. I don't know if it is. I just made that up.
So what are we expecting from Coleman going forward?
Start him. He's an RB2 every single week. And in the matchup, he can easily be an RB1.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, their defense just gets turnovers, and that's how he got, I think, a couple of his touchdowns. Is they got a turnover in their own territory, and it was just easy scoring from that.
But he's the same thing as Aaron Jones. He's just a product of that offense. He's not transcendent. Like we saw him last year. He's supposed to be the feature role in Atlanta. He didn't do shit. But he's got Arizona, Seattle, Arizona in the next 3 games. I'm starting him every single week. So in the next 3 at least.
Yeah, so if you remember, he got released in our league. He was on the waivers, and so Britt ended up getting him for like $111 or something like that out of our 200, which that was I tried to spend $100 on him. If I knew that Britt was only going to 111, I would have spent 112 for him because I could really use Tevin Coleman. But Britt was able to pick him up and then trade him, like he said, for Mack and Galladay. So pretty valuable piece.
You mean you could use 39 points for one player?
Did pretty good.
Well, I have
I think
a lot of
everyone
other
could
people
use
that
that.
do that, so not too bad.
Oh.
Yeah, I should have grabbed him too. I thought Breida would have been the 1B, but it's pretty clear now that Coleman's just number 1, and Breida can't stay on the field.
Okay, next stud. This guy was on Matt's team. Mike Evans, 11 catches, 198 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans has been pretty feast or famine this year. He's had 2 games now where he's scored like around 40 points. That one he had like 50 points, right?
Yeah, I was up there.
That first game he went off.
Yeah.
But he's also had 2 games under 5 points, including a 0. So it's pretty. This is like the Buccaneers offense in a nutshell, basically. Like they can go off at any moment. They can put up a 0 at any moment. So Mike Evans, good guy to have, though. He's obviously Jameis Winston's favorite target. He's a beast in the red zone.
He has 660 yards on the season and 6 touchdowns. In 2 games, he has 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. That should tell you everything you need to know right there.
I think he leads the league in air yards, which kind of makes sense. But
And yeah, Winston just throws it up to him.
yeah, I think I was telling Britt before the game when we were on Instagram live stream. Good time to plug that. Every Sunday we live stream. If you need any sit or start questions, ask us on there. But I think I was telling him like before the game, I think Winston just like flips a coin, and one side's Godwin, one side's Evans, and whatever coin or whatever side that coin lands on, that's who he's just going to target the rest of the game.
Well, I think Evans is obviously, now I say obviously, but Godwin's been awesome this year. But I think
Yeah.
Evans is still clearly the number 1 there.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking back at it, Britt, do you wish you could have traded Godwin a few weeks ago?
No. I mean, I still love Godwin and Evans going forward, but it's just like, what could I have gotten for Godwin at the time?
Who knows in our league?
But that's what I'm saying.
I think they're both going to finish close to the wide receiver 1. Might
I'm
be like
pretty
a
sure I
Juju
offered
and Antonio Brown.
Matt. Yeah, I offered Matt Connor, Aaron Jones, and Godwin for Mike Evans and Kamara, and he said, "I'll have to think about it."
I don't know if I said that.
I would not do that if I were Matt, but
No, that's
even
what I'm
knowing
saying.
about Aaron Jones, because Connor still sucks. So.
Wait, you said you have to think about it, right?
That means no, Britt.
No, I know that means no, but I'm saying I offered Connor, Aaron Jones, and Godwin for Evans and Kamara, and I mean that was when Godwin was a number 1 overall wide receiver.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it.
Well, not now. I'm not trading Aaron Jones, man.
Oh, of course. One good game.
2.
All right, next stud. This guy's been pretty much a top 5 wide receiver the whole season. We have Cooper Kupp playing in London, had 7 catches, 220 yards, and a touchdown. Had like 150 yards in the first half or something like that. And if the Rams wouldn't have gotten up by so much, he probably just would have kind of dialed it back towards the end, started giving Darrell Henderson some touches. But Cooper Kupp, solid top 5 receiver. I think he's leading the league in targets. Is that correct? Targets or catches? I might be making that up.
I know he's averaging like 11 targets a game. I don't know.
Maybe that's what I heard.
I don't know if he leads the league in targets. I could check it out.
He's up there. But we talked about last week about those 3 Rams receivers and how Cooks had underperformed and all that stuff. Like Kupp has clearly been the number 1 out of those 3 guys, and it's not even close between Kupp, Woods, and Cooks. And we saw flashes of this last year. Cooper Kupp was very good last year before he got hurt. So now that he's staying healthy, he's been the best player on the Rams this year.
Yeah, he's on pace for 175 targets. So
where did he get drafted in our league?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
He got drafted in round 5, the last pick or round 5.
Did he get taken before Cooks or not?
No, Cooks went first.
Damn.
And I'm pretty sure, did I take Woods over him? I want to say I didn't, but I think I did. I'm regretting that a little bit.
Did Woods go before him too?
Britt, your mic was like going crazy.
It's good now.
Something.
Was it, Matt?
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah, did Woods go before him?
Let's see.
Woods. I took Woods.
Yeah,
before
4
him.
picks before him.
Oh,
Galladay, Rodgers, Mack, Kupp.
that's gonna sting.
It is. If I wouldn't have gotten Godwin the next round, I would have been fucked.
Yeah, you're gonna be fucked either way, but just less fucked now.
Most likely.
I'm just kidding. Just taking it on the chin. I like it.
Okay, next stud. He was a stud last week, getting that starting role. Latavius Murray filling in again for Alvin Kamara. Had 21 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Also added 9 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. So my question here to Matt, a Kamara owner, or Kamara. I never know what to say. Kamara.
Kamara.
Okay, Britt's schedule guy, pronunciation guy. So I'm going to go
That's
with Britt.
Britt.
An expert in linguistics.
Right.
Yeah. Matt, as a Kamara owner,
Am I worried?
Are you worried that when he comes back that they're like, you know what? We have a pretty good running back here with Latavius Murray. Let's let Kamara worry about all the pass catching. Let's give Murray the carries.
You may take this one, Matt.
I think he asked me. Why would I just give it to you?
That's what I'm saying. You may take this one.
No, I bought his jersey. Okay, I know what I'm
Go
talking
ahead.
about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. The question is, am I worried? Should you be worried as a Camaro owner? Probably a little bit. But what's the worst thing that happens is you just go back to what you had last year in Ingram and Kamara, and Kamara did fine. Well enough to get drafted number 3 overall, so I'm
That's
not
a good
too
point,
worried.
man.
He leads the league in before he got hurt, he led the league in broken tackles too, so he's still a good running back. It's not like you're going to just bench him.
Right, but now that he is a little banged up, are they just gonna? They're like, you know what? We don't need to force it to him anymore. We can let him relax, take some plays off. We got Latavius.
No, I mean, yeah, I think that's what they're going to do, but like I said, it was the same thing last year with Ingram, and he finished top 10, so not too worried. He'll get his touches. And
Okay.
Breeze is back now too.
Breeze is back.
Go ahead, Britt.
I'm not worried at all. Kamara's the man. I mean, they got a bye week. He'll be back versus Atlanta. They're gonna have to put up points there. Tampa Bay, Carolina, Atlanta, San Francisco, Indy, Tennessee. Week 16. Sorry, starting him every week. He's a stud.
It's a good schedule.
Yeah, I'm not. Latavius Murray doesn't worry me in the slightest.
Great schedule.
Great schedule guy. Britt, schedule guy Crawford.
The coldest Crawford.
Please no, don't start this.
I'd be Brit, the coldest to ever do it. Oh, that
gotta-
should be my fantasy name. Fuck, what am I thinking?
Yeah, still time to change it. What's your fantasy name right now?
Child, please.
Oh, you went back to Child, please.
Try the veal.
Damn,
don't-
That's
Britt.
from fucking the league.
It's our competition.
Next stud, our only quarterback that made the list. We had Danny Dimes.
Danny Dang?
Daniel Jones for the New York Giants. He was 28 of 41, 322 yards, 4 touchdowns. Also added 4 carries for 13 yards. What do we think about Danny Dimes? He had a great game his first game in the NFL. Kind of looked like shit the next few games, and he comes back again with a good game.
Versus a decent defense, too. That's what kind of surprised me about this.
Who'd they play again? The Lions?
Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the line just sold out on the run, though. They were just trying to stop Saquon at first.
Saquon had a good game, too, though.
I mean, well, at
Well, a
the
lot of
beg-
them were like dump balls and stuff.
Yeah, he got a dump off touchdown, which he could have had another one, I think, but
I mean, he plays Dallas, the Jets. A bye. I'm not starting him versus Chicago, Green Bay, Philly. Yeah, you can start him. Miami and Washington. So pretty juicy 14, 15, 16.
So what you're saying is pick up Daniel Jones and start him in the playoffs.
Not right now. You don't have to worry about it. No one's picking him up really right now. But I don't know. It's just scary. He played Arizona and got 10 points. Like it's a little worrisome.
yeah, I think he's had a touchdown in every game since he took over the starter role. The problem
Yes,
is,
he
though,
has.
is that since he took over the starter role, he's had 12 turnovers in 6 games.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
If my
that,
math's correct, that's 2 turnovers a game.
yeah, it's not
Yeah,
good.
7 picks and what? 5
5
fumbles?
fumbles. That ain't good.
Usually you want to
But-
keep the ball in your hands.
In fantasy terms, he had a great day.
Yeah. He didn't pull
won
Baker
that game?
Mayfield and just toss it to the
Yeah.
other team. Britt's getting inducted right now, I think.
Yeah. Brett, are you texting or something?
Yeah, why?
Whenever you send a text out, what's it called?
Oh, is there like
the,
interference?
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
shit, my
the
bad.
NSH has a listen in.
yeah. Okay,
Fucking
last
Mike's from China.
China.
Oh my God! Don't throw deep balls to Juju.
Stop giving it away. Shut up.
Well, he dropped it, so
Did he really?
well, he didn't drop it. It was just like
Now
he
Britt
didn't catch
cares.
it. Okay, last stud. I could have gone with another quarterback like Rodgers or Matthew Stafford, or Deshaun Watson, who made one of the greatest touchdowns you'll ever see while getting kicked in the face. But instead, I went with a receiver who. So last week we had Stafford and Marvin Jones in our studs, and we were like, man, Marvin Jones got all the targets. Kenny Galladay didn't do anything with that big scoring game. Well, Kenny Galladay, he did something this week. Britt traded for him, and Kenny Galladay performed.
Of course.
6 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So really, if you look at Kenny Galladay, aside from last week, he's been very good this year.
That's why I traded for him.
What-
right there, baby. Kenny G.
What wide receiver was he before this week?
21. He was averaging 15 points a game.
So he'll shoot up. Nice. He'll shoot up closer to 10 now.
Yeah. Stafford is kind of similar to like Winston, where he just kind of picks a guy and just targets him the entire game. I think it actually started off, he was going just throwing to fucking Damian and Amendola.
Yeah.
Of course,
That Marvin
dude.
Hall guy caught a long touchdown too.
Yep. My guy didn't though. Fortunate. All the people that were like me and saw that big game out of Marvin Jones last week and started him this week, hey, we in this together, boys.
Damn.
Yeah. Kenny G's
Any
good.
other mention over any of the studs?
Well, you nailed him.
I mean, in another week, another Patriots defense. So
Yeah.
I didn't mention
what
them,
the
but
fuck?
yeah, they had like 24 points. That's nothing.
Shut
Also,
up,
another guy I
Kellen.
could have mentioned who was right there with Galladay. Look at the screen if you're watching. Number 22 on the Panthers. Just got his jersey in today. Christian McCaffrey.
yeah, if there's ever a day to worry about whether or not McCaffrey is like a game script running back, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, like I said, I was sitting there watching that, and Coleman got up to 3 touchdowns, and like McCaffrey had like 5 points, and I was like, oh my God, like they're down 3 touchdowns. This is going to be bad. And then we get a red zone update like right away, and it's like, oh, McCaffrey, 50-yard touchdown. It's like, okay, that'll do.
Just he's their offense.
He's it. That's it, baby.
It's the Carolina McCaffreys.
Okay, let's go to our next segment, our cheers segment.
Oh yeah.
So, Britt, you have a quick cheers? Someone on your team? I know your team went off this week, so.
Let me take a little look-see, shall we?
Take a little look.
Matt, you got one on deck while he's looking?
Nope, but I'll come off the dome with it.
I'm sure you do.
You got one?
I mean, I'm cheering Aaron Jones.
Oh, dude, get
Cheers, Aaron Jones, baby.
off his dick.
Matt had a creative
ride
one
that
last
dick
week.
to the
You had-
championship.
Or no, you had Josh Lambo last week. I forgot.
Yeah, I had Lambo. I was gonna do him
Hey.
again because he did miss an extra point,
Awesome.
but he bounced back and got me 3 field
11
goals.
points. Still hasn't missed a field goal.
No, still has not missed a field goal.
I thought you would maybe cheers your Galladay Stafford stack.
Yeah, that'd have been a
No.
good one.
I mean, Aaron
Because-
Jones getting 40. I don't see how I can go wrong.
We
right
made
there.
that bet, and you just took a commanding lead. We had that Stafford Cousins bet.
Oh, we did, didn't we? What was our
Yeah.
other bet? Kyler and Deshaun.
Yeah, unless Deshaun
That's
loses
not
an
looking too
eyeball,
good.
I'm liking my chances there. But yeah, you took a 15-point lead in that Stafford Cousins bet.
Can we just push and then neither of us shotgun?
I think it would be more fun if we both shotgun.
That's true.
Matt,
I was reading chat. You know what?
do we have any questions?
Yeah, we got a couple questions. I was gonna wait till after the segment though.
Okay, yeah, wait till after this segment.
Yeah, see, I can just pick Dalvin Cook every week. He's just been the one solid player I've had. But I'll give some respect to. We already talked about Mike Evans, so I don't think I've actually cheers Dalvin Cook yet. So we'll cheers Dalvin Cook.
Yay.
How's that
Another
get?
solid 26-point effort from Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, he's been probably the
Been
best.
a good pick, Matt.
Best second
Hey.
round draft pick.
It was a good matchup, Matt.
I don't want to hear it, Britt. Anyone listening right now, if y'all just want to join the Discord chat, on Sundays when Britt bitches the entire time and thinks he's about to lose and then
It
leaves.
wasn't the entire time. It was like the first half of the
Matt,
game.
I really got to win this week. Of course I play the high scoring team.
Yeah.
Turns
You're
out
already
he was
making the
the highest scoring
playoffs.
team.
You don't know that. I only have
Sorry,
6 wins.
sorry, Matt's 6-1 and only scored over 105 fucking one time.
What? I'm second in the league in scoring.
By like
Shut your
120
mouth.
points.
Okay. You know what? I have admin right now. I'm just about to kick you. It's
Get
about
him,
to be a
Keller.
Britt and Matt show. Oh no, Britt's on your team there. It's about to be me.
I'm about to say, you'd rather do a show with just Britt after he's just talking shit about y'all's matchup?
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
So in case you hadn't figured it out, Britt and Matt played this week. It was the top game of the week from our league. They had the 2 highest scoring teams. Right now, Britt is up 153 to 132, and Britt still has Connor and the Steelers defense going. So Matt will-
Steelers D not looking too hot.
So put the math together, and that means Matt will no longer be your first place team. Your first place team, folks, assuming Juju did not get 20 points, which I might have just jinxed myself, will be yours
Yeah.
truly, who's been the leading scorer all season. So it only makes sense for me to be in first place, but now it'll just be official.
This is why everyone doesn't want Keller to win another championship.
They
Did you
can't
ever-
keep me down. I've already won 3 championships, looking for number 4.
Did you ever cheers anyone?
I'm
Oh,
cheersing
he did
myself.
McCaffrey. I
Can't
thought he did
tell.
McCaffrey.
No, I'm cheersing myself for being a great
Oh,
owner.
dude, what?
Oh,
No, that ain't allowed.
Okay,
Hopefully
I'll
Juju
cheers
goes
right.
off.
I will cheers. You know who I'll cheers?
Let me guess. Stephon Diggs.
Cheers.
I was going to cheer Stephon Diggs because this is now 3 weeks in a row that he has been very good. Probably the number 1 receiver in the league the last 3 weeks. I'm just making that up. He might be, though. He's gone 40,
Sure.
like 18 and 17. But I'm going to throw a shout out to a guy that I didn't play this week.
Oh, I already
And
know
that
who it is.
guy is David Montgomery. Because I drafted David Montgomery in the 5th round, hoping that he would be my flex this entire year. Because I saw him play in preseason. I liked what I saw. I was like, you know what? This guy's going to be a solid guy. The Bears are saying they want to run the ball. So I'm going to draft David Montgomery, play him in the flex. And up until yesterday, he has been absolutely terrible. I think he's only broken 10 points one time. So yesterday, of course, I had no thoughts of ever playing him. I was deciding between Fitzgerald and Alshon and a couple other receivers. David Montgomery decides to get 25 points. So now, got another decision to make. Montgomery's going to be a flex consideration from here on out. So cheers to you, Dave Montgomery, for finally deciding to play football.
Give some respect to Matt Nagy too.
Why? They still lost.
Boy, he finally tried to run the ball.
Yeah, and what did it get him? Another missed field goal to lose the game.
Oh,
Guy, you just knew he was going to miss it too.
yeah. I mean, he made it earlier in the season.
Yeah, and it was a 41-yarder, man, and it just started out looking good and just kept drawing wide left.
The Bears
Brutal.
just every year you think they're going to go far.
I don't, but
Well, people have high hopes for him.
I'm not a Bears believer. Where did
Alright,
Brick go?
Oh, did you just leave?
Yeah.
I was
All right,
waiting.
what's
To,
the question,
I was
man?
waiting to hear some Montgomery schedules coming up, but we never got to that part.
Brett, cheers to Montgomery. What do you think about that?
A bench player? Go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Yeah, because he finally showed me that he can play football.
You're never going to start him.
I might in flex now.
That's true. You got Larry. I don't know. He's
Yeah, you
bad.
can't even think of anything clever, so shut up.
Oh, all right, let's get to these chat questions real quick. We only got 2.
Okay.
But JP Kelly and Twitch, by the way, follow us on Fantasy and Chill Twitch. Says thoughts on Ertz rest of season.
Ertz, I do not like what I'm seeing up there, mainly because the other tight end, Dallas
Goddard, Britt?
Goddard.
Britt.
How do you
Say
say that, Britt?
Goddard.
There you go.
Dallas Goddard is taking away a lot of targets. I think he's had 3 weeks in a row over 9 fantasy points. So that's my only concern up there is that there's another tight end eating into his tight end targets. And now they got the running backs going off. They got Alshon. I mean, Deshaun will be back next week. A lot of mouths to feed up in Philly. So Ertz is still a startable tight end by far. There's just too many bad guys out there. But he's not that. I don't think he's that top 3 guy anymore.
I was hearing that he might be on the trade block. I doubt they trade him, but I think his contract's up after this year. And I mean, if you have Goddard, then I don't know, just a possible. I mean, if Ertz goes to the fucking Patriots, that'd be badass.
Why did I think they had already re-signed him? Extended him. Did I make that up?
Think so?
Britt, you're a contract guy.
Let me see.
Is salary cap information?
Oh, I guess they are signed. My bad. I don't know where I heard that then.
Probably like Twitter people are just like, the Texans should trade DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, like shut up.
Oh, they
I think-
reworked his contract to save cap space, so he is guaranteed 2020. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, so yeah, Ertz, I would feel worried, but it's still a guy you're starting the rest of the season.
And someone was saying when Goddard scored that touchdown, everybody was over there congratulating him, and Ertz just kind of like walked off to the side, like, I don't know,
Being a bitch.
read between the lines.
I think Deshaun coming back will actually help him.
True.
Sure.
And so we'll go to YouTube now. Ruthless Reyes. I mean, I think we're all going to agree on this, but I'm just going to ask anyways. He got offered Zeke for Josh Jacobs. Should he take it?
He's getting Zeke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Take it right now.
Yes. You leave. Actually, don't leave, but right after the stream ends, you go accept that offer.
I will say one thing about Josh Jacobs is that he is good. I watched it. Obviously, I'm a Texans fan. I watched the Texans Raiders game yesterday. They don't give him the ball enough. He started off, he was gashing us in the first quarter, and he only got 15 carries in a game that they were winning most of the game.
The
So I
Raiders
just don't
are
really,
kind of a surprise.
I just don't really understand what they're doing there. He's a good running back. I would give him the ball a lot more, and if he does get the ball a lot more, I think I was looking at his schedule earlier. Britt backed me up on this, that he does have a pretty decent schedule going forward.
I know
Yes.
I think he's top
Britt doesn't
5.
know.
I think he's top 5 in like rest of season schedule, strength of schedule.
Yeah, I looked at it and it looked pretty favorable.
Yeah.
So, saying that, Josh Jacobs, I do like him the rest of the season, but yeah, if you can trade him for Zeke, obviously do that. Zeke is a top 5 guy.
Yeah, Detroit, Chargers, Bengals, Jets, Kansas City, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. You're
Yep.
starting him every week if you have him because where you drafted him probably in the first 5 rounds.
But yes, 100% trade him for Zeke.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
do not question that one.
Do not question it.
Do not question it.
I said do not question that one.
Okay.
Listen, you fuck faces.
For your fuck faces. Any
Alright,
other
let's
questions,
move.
Matt?
We can move on because I think we're actually going to talk about one of these guys that someone is asking about. So, let's go.
Okay, so instead, we might talk about a couple waiver wire guys, but the waiver wire is pretty bare
Pretty bare.
this week. So instead, we're
bad.
going to look at trade deadlines coming up. I don't know when exactly it is in your league, but just know that it's in the next couple weeks. So we're going to be buy low or sell high targets. So I started off with a column for buy low players. These are players. Buy low means that they are not performing up to where they should be performing. And so maybe you can trade for them, get a good deal on them, and then they'll start performing like they should. So the first guy I have, and Britt already told me he didn't agree with this. So my first guy, buy low candidate, is Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray started off the season pretty strong, consistently in the high teens to 20s. Last 2 games have not been good for Kyler. I think he had like 7 points. And what did he have this week?
10.
Yeah, so not good. But I looked at his schedule
Oh, smart.
and I liked what I saw coming up. So I'm clicking it really quick. Of course, my phone is loading now instead of going to it.
I mean, no, he's got San Francisco and then
He's
Tampa
already got
Bay. You're playing Tampa Bay, but he's got San Francisco 2 out of the next 3 weeks and then a bye. I'm not fucking with him. If anything, wait till after the bye and try to trade him there. But I do not like Kyler Murray. He does have some weak. He plays the Rams, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Seattle. You could probably play him there because he
I
does
just
have the Rams, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland all at home. So
I just think if you're a guy that's streaming quarterbacks and you go to the guy that has Kyler Murray, that guy either is ready to bench Kyler or he's just tired of him and ready to trade him. You could probably get him for really cheap, and I think this is a guy that could easily put up some big numbers.
you could, but I think he's going to be cheaper after at San Francisco. He's probably going to be dropped, in all honesty.
Possibly. I don't know if you would ever drop him just because of the potential.
True.
Yeah. You've waited this long with him. I don't think you're dropping him. I think you're going to try to sell him, if anything. So you could, like Ryan said, buy low with him.
When I made him over Deshaun Watson rest of the season, he was coming off a 25 and a 30-point game versus Cincinnati and Atlanta, who are both terrible, which I should have known that. But then he played the Giants and 7 points, 10 carries, 28 yards, 104 passing yards. I mean, and then at the New Orleans in a dome, and the Cardinals can't move the ball right now.
So flip the script. This should have been a guy you should have sold high 2 weeks ago.
You're absolutely right. I tried to buy it for Derek. Derek wouldn't give him up though. So
The thing, you're not going to sell high after a 29-point game, and then you got the Giants the next week.
Right. At the time, after that, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a top 5 quarterback that I have here now.
yeah, ride it out.
Which is why I'm thinking that he is going to turn it around.
After the bye week, yes,
Well,
Yeah.
after the bye week would be too late for trade deadline. So
that is true.
Yeah.
if you want him, I would go get him right now. I don't think he's ever going to have 2 worse games than 7 and 10. So I would go get him. It's a guy I like.
All right.
Next buy low candidate. And another guy quarterback, started off the year strong. Let me pull him up real quick. This is Britt, he's on your team, Carson Wentz. So
Yes.
he started off the year very good. Last 2 weeks he went 6.8 and 14.4. The reason I like Wentz is his especially playoff schedule. If you just look at the playoff weeks, at Miami, the Giants at home, at Washington, the Cowboys at home. That's a cake playoff schedule for a quarterback. And you could probably get him. The guy might be like Britt. So Britt has Wentz in our league, and he picked up Stafford to start instead of Wentz. So you probably have a guy that's pretty frustrated with him after these last 2 weeks. You could probably get him pretty cheap.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not playing him versus Chicago, probably. He's got a bye, and then New England. I'm probably sitting him all 3 of those weeks. Obviously, the one with the bye. But then he's got Seattle, Miami, Giants, Washington, Dallas. He's going to – if I can make it to the playoffs, baby.
I'd say if you
I'm
can
gonna go-
if you can squeak into the playoffs, that's
Yes.
a guy that it's going to put up points for you.
Yes, sir.
So those are 2 buy low quarterbacks that I like a lot, especially moving forward into the playoffs. Okay, a buy low running back. Now, I don't know how good of a deal you'd be able to get because this was a first round guy. But I have Le'Veon Bell here. So Le'Veon Bell started off the year with 20. Oh my gosh. Did not need to see that. Le'Veon Bell started off the year with 20 points and 16 points. And then has gone 8, 12, 11, 8, and 5. So Le'Veon Bell is just a product of playing on a shitty team, the Jets. The reason he's a buy low candidate is because I think he can still put up big numbers, but I don't know if he'll ever be that first round guy that you thought he was going to be.
If you can go get him right now for someone reasonable on your team that you can spare, go get him because his schedule is juicy as fuck.
Juicy. Yeah, I mean, he's already gotten the usage, too. It's just been against hard
He's going
hard
to get the
teams.
usage.
Yeah. He goes Miami, the Giants, Washington, Oakland, Cincy, Miami. Those are bottom quarter teams versus the run every single week. He does play Baltimore and Pittsburgh 15-16, but fuck it. He'll get you to the playoff.
Yeah, he's not a game script guy where he's going to get benched if they go down big, even if they happen to go down big against any of those teams.
Right.
He is their team.
Yep.
Okay, next buy low target. I don't know if y'all are going to agree with this one, but Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. The reason I say him is because he's still getting the volume. He's just not getting the touchdowns. He started off the year 30 and 16, and since then 11, 12, 13, 4, 17, 7. Like, he's just not getting the big point outputs. They've looked better with Tannehill, so that's encouraging. Like I said, he's still getting the carries. I think he will be solid down the stretch, and you might be able to get him for cheap from whoever owns Derrick Henry in your league.
Yeah, don't forget about last year too, when he kind of had. He started off a lot better this year than he did last year, but last year I think he finished the number one running back, like the last 6
Like,
weeks.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's the way he runs. He's just a bigger dude, so he can just punish defenses when they're tired later in the season. But and his schedule is not terrible either.
I mean, seeing what
Britt's
San
gonna tell you
Francisco
that.
just did to Carolina, I'm playing them next week, and then Kansas City, that's an auto start too. So
Yeah.
There you go. Heard it here first.
Real quick before we move on to the next guy, Bonies McJonies, aka Rob the Slob, asks,
Johnny's.
Kelsey or Hooper rest of the season, or should I sell on Hooper?
I think Hooper's a guy you could sell,
yeah, for sure.
but he's not really slowing down, so it's hard to say that. He's maintaining.
You'll get more for I mean, they're both with backup quarterbacks right now, but Matt Ryan's coming back next week, right?
Yeah, they're
Should
both of their
be.
quarterbacks are coming back, but obviously Kelsey has the way higher potential moving forward. Mahomes will be back. Kelsey start off slow. He's gonna be looking to make up for that slow start. Hooper, like I said, he's maintaining that production. There's no way it can continue to last, right? I mean, he's scoring every week.
I think it just depends what your team needs because with Kelsey, you can get more for Kelsey, obviously.
Yeah.
Was he
But-
talking about trading one, Matt, or is he just talking about who to trust, like start the rest of the year?
I think at this point in the season, you want to trade one of them
Right.
because it's coming up to playoffs where a lot of your guys aren't going to be on bye anymore. So you're just going to have one of them on your bench.
Then I think, like Britt was saying, that just whatever you can get more for, trade that guy, because I do like both of them the rest of the season. I like Kelsey more, but you probably could get more for Kelsey.
Yeah.
Well, Hooper's got to buy this week. So you're probably just going to just stick with him after this week because you'll play Kelsey through the bye.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Who was that guy, Matt? He had fucking like Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, and like Darren Waller or something in our chat.
Yeah. And he went
And
and
we
got
told
Mike
him,
Evans.
dude, trade one of those right now.
Trade two of them.
5
Yeah.
minutes later, he came back. He got Mike Evans for Hunter Henry straight up.
Jeez.
My theory,
Yeah.
like if you have one or two stud tight ends, or actually if you have two or more stud tight ends or two or more stud quarterbacks, don't waste them on your bench. Go and trade one of those guys for something that you would actually start in your lineup.
Right, because there are at least a couple teams in your league that are starting absolute garbage at those positions right now.
Yeah.
And see, like he can start Kelsey this week because obviously Hooper's on a bye. And I mean, well, the trade deadline's already gonna be passed. So yeah, I'd probably try to sell Hooper. That way you can at least play Kelsey. He's got a week 12 bye, but you can fill in there and your playoff spot already should be determined by then.
I agree.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Yep. That's pretty good.
But go after the team who's fucking starting like Gerald Everett or Jimmy Graham at tight end. Like,
Whoa.
sorry. Go after that team though, because they obviously need a tight end.
Who's your tight end, Britt?
Evan Ingram,
Yeah, he sucks again.
huh?
He scored
He
this week.
sucks again.
Yeah.
He still
Talk
sucks.
about. I mean, better than your tight end, asshole.
Let's move
My
on to
tight end
this
had 15 last week.
the part of the podcast where Britt and Ryan argue with each other.
All right, last buy low target. And I don't know what the owner's going to want for him, but OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., he has been just bad. It's partly the Browns, partly he's dropping everything. He's frustrated. They don't know how to get him the ball when they do. It's just, I don't know what's going on. The owner in our league didn't even start him this week. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But Odell Beckham Jr., he had 1 week where he had 28 points. His other weeks are 10, 8, 3, 4, 14, 7. He was probably drafted a top 5 wide receiver in your league. Well, actually, in ours, he was drafted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th wide receiver. But he's a guy that obviously has the bounce back potential. He can go off at any moment. Just a matter of if it's going to happen or not. But the owner in your league is probably frustrated with him. You can probably get him for just like a flex guy at this point, maybe.
Maybe like a running back 2.
Yeah. So just if you really need a wide receiver and you have a bunch of running backs, you can afford to trade one. Maybe target OBJ.
Yeah.
My only problem is like the teams that they play coming up, none of them really score a lot of points. They play Denver, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Miami, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Arizona. I don't know. I figure the Browns are just going to pound the ball. If they're going to be, they'll probably be in a positive game script. So Odell's kind of, I'm staying away from him.
I just think at some point he has to get going.
You would hope so, but I just don't like that situation right now.
He just played one of the hardest defenses in the league and still put up 7.7 points, had 7 targets, 50 yards. I mean, I think that's his floor going forward. He also had to play San Francisco.
Looking at it, or go ahead.
I was saying he already played San Francisco. He had 4 points. I just think they were struggling getting him the ball those games, and like Ryan said, he was kind of frustrated. But I'm not worried about him going forward.
Yeah, they've had a very tough schedule this year.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Going to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'll see him there. I'll see Odell in the stands.
There you go. Any more buy low targets?
I can add a couple. I just wrote down a couple. I'll go through them really quick though. I can kind of group these two in the same category. I think we already talked about both of them actually. But Josh Jacobs, he's not really a buy low, but I just think he's a buy. And then David Montgomery.
That would be a buy high.
Well, if you're counting 1 week, no one.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that if you're going to go to the guy that owns him, if you went last week, you'd be like, look, this guy fucking sucks. I'll give you like a flex guy for him or like a guy you wouldn't even start. But now when you go to him, that guy's going to be like, hey, he just put up 25 points. He's bouncing back. I need more than that from you now.
Yeah, but see, when you said buy and sell, I just assumed we were talking about like a playoff push here or a championship push. So these are guys like I want on my team for the championship. Whether or not you're going to start him.
So you're saying you like Dave Montgomery's outlook the rest of the
Yeah.
year?
I think if you buy him right now, whatever you're going to buy him for, I think he's going to be worth more than that later on in the season.
Okay. But yeah, if you did choose to go buy him now, you would be buying him higher than obviously you could have gotten the rest of the year. Like if you come to me right now and ask for Dave Montgomery, the price is going to be way higher than it was last week.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah.
And then one more guy.
I agree with the Le'Veon Bell. Oh, sorry, Matt. I didn't know you're done.
Well, Le'Veon Bell, we talked about him 15 minutes ago.
That's really my only guy that I agree with.
Oh, okay. And then one more guy was.
You just look at name value. That's all you do.
Yeah. And schedule.
Yeah, and schedule.
Then go get Le'Veon from Turpin.
I already tried today.
He just got him.
I don't know how many times I told him today. I said, this is my friend Austin, and there ain't nothing wrong with him, but just pray for him because he's terrible at fantasy.
Oh my God.
It's not wrong. It's pretty bad.
If he gets last again.
Yeah, well, he's lucky that Blake is in the league because Blake is doing him no favors
and
helping his team. And Turpin's team now, if you look at it, like it's pretty good.
On paper, it's not bad.
Yeah. They don't perform at all, but
yeah. All right. The last guy I had was, we kind of talked about him too, Keenan Allen. But that'd be a good buy low. Yeah, this is a guy that I bought low on him last year too, and it's because he gets a lot of targets every year. He's number 3 in air yards, and he's got like kind of a mediocre schedule coming up, and he's kind of injured right now, so I think you could probably get him for even lower. But got to keep in mind.
It's a good target there. If
I
you
like
need a
that
solid
one.
wide receiver.
All I got. Good targets.
All right, let's get to some sell high target. These are guys that if you have them on your roster, now would be a good time to think about trading them if you wanted to. The first guy is pretty obvious, Latavius Murray, because once Kamara comes back, obviously his value is going to go way down. So what you do, you go to the Kamara owner, see what you can get for him. That's your game plan.
Agreed.
I already tried
Because
that 2
probably
weeks
no one
ago.
else in the league is going to want Latavius Murray because, like I said, whenever Kamara comes back, his value goes way down. But if you own Latavius Murray and you do not own Kamara, go to the Kamara owner, say, look, let me get this wide receiver 2 from you for Latavius.
Britt, you got the schedule ready?
No, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Just you need to use the fear for Kamara.
Matt, have you engaged the Latavius owner in our league?
Yeah, I asked him last week before this past game if he wanted to trade Murray, and he said, well, I can't because if Kamara doesn't play, then I got to start him this week. So I'm not going
You
to.
didn't offer him Jordan Howard?
I just ended trade talks at that point because I think we all know who owns Murray.
What are you saying?
I've never made a trade with him before, so from what I hear, it's difficult to trade with him.
Just a little bit.
I don't think he would have done that, so I just kind of ended it there.
Fair enough.
And it also came out that Kamara had a chance to play, so I kind of rolled the dice, but it didn't work out for me.
Let's say that the Murray owner in our league was open to a trade. What kind of offer would you make for Murray?
A borderline flex player. 'Cause like we were
Like
saying, it's like a maybe. So I have Golden Tate on my bench. I might do that. You wouldn't do that?
might do that.
Well, no, I would
would
do that.
trade Murray for that shit.
Yeah, you'd be lowball me. Say, get that shit out of here.
But what-
I ain't
Matt,
taking Golden
Murray's
Tate.
a
Let me give you little bit of
handcuff.
advice, Matt.
Murray's a
You miss
handcuff.
100% of the shots that you don't take.
You got to overpay for a handcuff.
You do.
That's the
You do.
problem with our league is people value handcuffs way too high.
No,
I
I
but
think in every respectable
he's
league
your
they do.
handcuff,
No.
and you're coming to him looking for the handcuff, you're obviously the only guy in the league that wants him. So yeah, he's gonna make you overpay for him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, then you're not gonna get him.
I know, and that's why I don't have Madison right now.
But
And
Golden
Madison,
Tate, that's not a good offer at all.
And you're gonna lose to Brett.
Golden Tate is averaging like 10 targets the past 3 games.
No.
Yeah.
That's owner
Wow.
bias right there at its
Yeah.
finest.
What's owner bias is having Latavius Murray and trying to sell high on him for like a running back too.
He's got 30 points the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, tell me what he's going to do
He's
next
running
week.
back one past 2 weeks.
He's on bye next week, and then Kamara comes back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And y'all going to want to fucking trade like Leonard Fournette for him.
No, we didn't say that.
We didn't say that, Matt.
I think
here,
I'm gonna
y'all
look at
give
your
me a
team
guy.
real quick. I think a fair trade would be
Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd.
Golden Tate's been outperforming Tyler Boyd the past 3 weeks. So
Tyler
that's supposed
Boyd,
to-
Marvin Jones, Jordan Howard. I'd rather have all those guys in.
Go
Golden
click on Golden Tate right now and
I
tell me his
realize what
points.
he's done the last 2 weeks, Matt. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'd rather have those other guys.
Well, you're
Hey,
wrong.
you could probably get Kenyon Drake. Maybe.
Okay, you're gonna tell me
Maybe.
Kenyon Drake, but not Golden Tate? Then come on.
You're never gonna start Kenyon Drake. Is what I was getting at.
I'm never gonna start Latavius Murray unless Kamara goes down again.
Yeah, then you're
Oh,
100%
yeah.
starting him.
Yeah, that's a fucking pretty big unless.
See, y'all's value on handcuffs is way too high. I'm just gonna
Well-
I'm gonna
Well,
pull.
how
a s-
valuable would Latavius Murray have been to you these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, for me only. I'm gonna pull a Sam and
Exactly.
draft
But
everyone.
Yeah, you're the one with Kamara.
So I would be trying to get him no matter
It's
what.
supply and demand. There's one
I
demand for him.
understand supply and demand, but it's also fantasy football where you have these guys on that you'll never play.
Exactly. The guy I'm never playing is Golden Tate. I'm
So
gonna
if you
trade.
like Golden Tate so much, then trade one of those other receivers and plug in Golden Tate.
I will. If I would have said Tyler Boyd, y'all would have agreed with that?
Yeah. I mean, if you had to have
Okay.
fucking Latavius Murray.
Well, then I'll trade Tyler Boyd for him.
You won't.
Nah, he won't take that either.
Okay. Let's move on.
It's gonna have to be like George Kittle or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next guy. I don't know. Thinking more about it, if I would trade this guy, just because I think he's gonna be really good going forward. But Tevin Coleman, if you were ever thinking about, obviously now would be the time coming off a 40-point game, because I don't know if he'll ever get 40 again. But I think, like we were saying earlier, he will be a guy that you can start every week. So thinking about it, I don't know if you would want to sell him, but he is a sell high candidate.
No, I'm not. If I have him, I'm not selling him just because I don't think you will get the. I mean, if someone comes up to you offering you like fucking, I don't know, what would be something stupid? It has to be a wide receiver. Would you do Diggs for Tevin Coleman, Keller?
Would I trade Diggs for Tevin Coleman?
That's
Yes,
someone reasonable.
I would.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
not for
would?
Tevin
Okay.
Coleman. For Kevin Tolman.
Kevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman.
Oh my God! No! 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 No!
Let's go.
Oh!
Did
Oh.
you get a touchdown?
Oh, it's that Johnson guy. 18 looked
okay.
like 19.
Oh,
Oh my
fuck.
God, it
He's
scared the
dyslexic,
shit out of me.
and there's a
You
flag.
got me fucking excited, dude.
Oh, he was out of bounds anyways, but oh my God, that 18 looks just.
Oh, wait. Wait, he was out of bounds before he caught it?
He was out of bounds to 1.
Oh.
They might have called offensive pass interference though.
I think they did. The way he's.
Yeah.
You're way ahead of me, so tell me what they call.
But yeah, like Ryan
don't
and
have
Bert
the
were talking
sound on.
about.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
That was. Wait, who did they call pass interference on?
I don't know, Britt. They haven't said yet.
Dude,
Oh, they called it on the Steelers.
this
False alarm.
this podcast can be 3 hours if we have to watch the entire
Oh
game
my
commenting
God.
on it.
It's relevant, Matt.
I mean, that was not offensive.
It's not
pass
relevant when
interference.
it comes out tomorrow.
Sure, it will be.
Yeah, okay, y'all go rewind to this point in the game, and you'll get
Okay,
their commentary.
Kevin Coleman.
I'm not selling them.
All right, keep him.
Yeah, I
But
like their defense.
if for some reason you don't like him, then yeah, trade him now. His value's at an all-time high.
Yeah, I agree. If you want, yeah, if you're gonna have to sell them now.
Yes. Let's say you have a surplus of running backs. Say you have 4 playable guys, and he's one of them. This is maybe the guy that you could get the most for. So yeah.
Possibly, or like I was saying earlier, you can just wait till the owner drops them to waivers,
And then
Please
spend
Please Blake
$100
doesn't listen to
on
this.
him.
and then you just pick them up.
He's already been roasted enough.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
All right, another sell high candidate. I wrote just the Eagles running back whole situation here because Sanders had like 26 before he got hurt, right?
A little shoulder injury, but he says he's gonna be fine. So who knows what that
But
actually
then
means?
Jordan Howard also had like 18 or 17. So their whole backfield had a good day. So if you are a Miles Sanders or Jordan Howard owner, now would be a good time to probably flip them because I just don't know how that situation is going to play out the rest of the year. They're both going to get a lot of playing time. I think I like Sanders more moving forward. He's more explosive, but I don't know,
Yeah.
Matt. You're closer to the situation. What do you think?
So I've actually been like
I know you're a Jordan Howard homer, so
Homer. I just like to know what
Or
my.
like owner.
We can't use that word, Britt.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, I was browsing the Eagles Reddit to see what they thought of like their backfield situation, and all of them seem to agree that Miles Sanders that he should only be used for pass catching, and he's a terrible runner. Like he has no vision whatsoever.
he's blind.
Yeah, he's blind, but somehow catches the ball, which is insane. And Jordan Howard is just like the like he's like Blunt was for him a couple years ago. Like he's just the guy that's gonna pound the ball and then get the goal line carries. So whichever guy you want, like if you want a PPR guy, maybe go Sanders. If you want a standard guy, maybe go Howard.
So if you're one of those owners, do you agree with maybe selling high on them?
Yeah, well, depending on what you can get, yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
My God, Mason Rudolph is just airing it out. Stop.
First and 20, man.
It's gonna be a stressful second half, man.
We can move on.
Last guy I wrote down. He was a big subject on last week's episode. We have Joe Mixon, The reason Joe Mixon is on the list is because he actually had a decent game yesterday. So Joe Mixon, he had, let me see.
This is the
15
game
points.
that every Joe Mixon owner finally sat him because he had
Yeah.
10 carries for 2 yards, and then he
He had
fucking goes off.
15.7 points, had 66 rushing yards, but he had a reception touchdown. So still not like what you would even expect from him going into the year. You would hope he would put up more than that. But you now have some value that you can trade. So now would be a time to just probably trade him for anything, because unlike these other their value moving forward, Joe, we talked about last week, Joe Mixon is on an awful team. I just don't know if he's ever going to be what you thought he was going to be. So now that he has a little bit of value built up after this week, I would try to trade him for anything.
If you can get anything for him, I still don't think people
That's what
are.
I'm saying. Hopefully someone sees this and like, oh, maybe he's getting going.
Well, he's going on a bye week, so
Well, that would make it a little difficult.
If you have some guy that's just strictly trades on recency bias, then just go straight to that guy and try to trade whatever you like.
That sounds like half the people I know.
Like maybe even I'd trade him for like a flex player, maybe.
Golden Tate.
We ain't getting into this again, Britt. Might as well fucking trade him for Latavius Murray handcuff. Actually, I might do that with Mixon. That's a
Yeah,
sad
I
thing.
might do it too.
Yeah, good deal.
If I had Kamara.
That's a sad thing.
Well, like
is
for
that-
example, on my team, like I'd trade like I don't know if I'd trade any of these guys for him actually.
about to say like,
Like Montgomery, I'd rather have Montgomery.
well, that's like what-
Alshon, I think I'd rather have Alshon.
I'd rather just hold on to Mixon at that point.
That's close.
But yeah, if
Royce Freeman.
Montgomery's debatable. I might take the offer. I don't know. It's tough. It's around that area though.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
getting-
Got on my list. Anything else on your list, Matt? Sell.
I think me and Britt can agree on this one. I did write down one guy, Stephon Diggs.
So high.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I will tell you why you should not sell high on him.
Oh, so you're already prepared for this then?
Yeah.
Why does?
Let me read you Diggs. That's 18, right?
Nope.
What are you going to read us? His schedule?
Okay. That was Deontay Johnson. He's had like a 50-yard touchdown. It wasn't Juju.
You've got
Let
to
me
shut up.
Britt, it's a I got to pay attention. It's my game. Let me read you Stephon Diggs the last 3 weeks. You ready for this?
Wait,
Seven
but I-
catches.
This
Seven catches,
This
167
is what a sell
yards.
high is though.
Yeah, we're telling you to sell high, dumbass, because he's
And
been
I'm telling you why
playing
you
well.
shouldn't.
You're talking about his
What?
past 3
catches,
weeks.
167 yards and 3 touchdowns. 7 catches, 143 yards. 7 catches, 143 yards. The exact same stat line again. Why would you sell high when he's now proven that he's going to be that high round wide receiver that you drafted? Now he's what could I possibly sell him for that's going to be any better than what he's going to be the rest of the year?
A top running back.
What top running back would you trade for Stephon Diggs, Britt?
Fournette.
No, you wouldn't. And I already have Fournette.
I would have traded him for Bell right now.
No, but I'm saying sell high, so I'm not the right person to ask on who I'd give up for him.
If I came to you, who would you give me for him?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't
No,
give
Britt's,
you anyone.
Britt's not the one that
crazy.
wants to trade for him. Britt's the one that wants to
I know,
trade
but
him
I'm
away.
saying put yourself in my shoes. What am I going to get for Stephon Diggs?
Tevin Coleman.
Maybe. I
I'd say
don't
if-
think so after that.
If you
Tex
go get
Line.
if you
That's
go
a
get
double
Le'Veon
sell
Bell right
high.
now, would you take Le'Veon Bell for Stephon Diggs?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think the Le'Veon Bell owner would ever do that.
Well, I think that's the guy you start off with, and then you kind of move down from there.
Let me ask Turbin.
Yeah, get him in here real quick. Do a live trade on the podcast.
But I think I don't think he's going to slow down now. Obviously, he's not going to average 150 yards a week, but he's going to be back to that guy that I drafted in the 4th round,
Okay, so
maybe even higher.
the 2 of the last 3 weeks, he played Philadelphia, which was like the perfect matchup for him, and then he had Thielen out 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's still a run first offense.
100%.
And now Thielen's going to be
Right,
coming back.
but that running game is opening up the play action, and Diggs is the main target on play action.
Yeah, but if you're already up, you're not running play action. Look, they're going to get up on Kansas City. They're going to be running the ball. Dallas, probably the same fucking thing.
Mahomes is back next week.
Is he?
Yeah,
100%?
No.
75%.
Oh.
Coming straight from Andy
He's
Reid's
made it
mouth,
to the-
75%.
You want to bet?
He does have a little Seattle, Detroit, Chargers, and Green Bay. That's a
Look,
pretty
my only
nice
thing is,
little playoff
yes,
schedule.
obviously he's been really good the last 3 weeks, so he's a quote, air quote, look, sell high. But there's no way I could possibly get what I would want for him.
You
You
just
miss
said-
100% of the
all the
shots
way.
you don't take.
He's a wide receiver 2 all the way, which is exactly what I drafted him for.
There you go.
Fair enough.
So I'm happy now.
I might
Wrap
agree with
this
that.
up, boys.
My wide receiver 1 is Hopkins. I have better wide receivers than all of y'all. So
I'll just I'll throw in one more sell low or sell high, sorry. And we don't really have to talk to him about him that much because none of us own him, so it doesn't really matter. But Devontae Freeman, he's had a few, which is why he's a sell high. He's had a few good weeks the past
he's
like 4 weeks.
He has had some better weeks, but that name, I know I hate that name. I know Britt has been burned by him too. Just
Yeah, I guess I'm telling the wrong people, but
I don't ever.
I mean,
want
he
him.
is my boy. I had him the year that he actually played pretty well, but
You also had him the next year.
yeah, and another guy going into bye. So, I mean, he does play New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Carolina. I don't even know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with
New
Matt.
Orleans
So
twice
high.
in Tampa Bay. That's rough.
Or is 12 points selling high?
For him, I think so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sure.
That's all I had.
Anybody else on the list? We good?
That's it.
Good.
All right. So, that was our week 8 wrap up. Looking ahead to week 9. Hopefully, giving you some targets to look forward to for trade deadline. Follow us on Instagram at Fantasy and Chill, Twitter at Fantasy and Chill, YouTube, subscribe at Fantasy and Chill, subscribe on the Apple Podcast app at Fantasy and Chill. Are we still twitching?
We are twitching right now.
Twitch,
We twitching, fool.
Twitch, Fantasy and Chill. We are on 5, count them, 5-time social media outlets. Matt's working on the Snapchat.
Yes. You can also catch us at Washington Nationals game, showing our tits behind home plate.
It's true. Speaking of that, I didn't even
Swag.
get a shout out in. Astros are 1 game away from the World Series. Tomorrow night, we got Verlander on the mound. Hopefully,
Yeah.
wrapping it up. World champs, best ever. You know how it goes.
Turn up.
Yeah. Let's go. Other than that,
Shit, we got 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50. 13 minus 50, goddamn, 47. 13 minus 50, 13 minus 50, 13 minus 50, 47. 13 minus 50, 13 minus 50.